Have you ever wondered why some people seem to move through life with an unstoppable momentum, while others feel perpetually stuck in place? It isn't a matter of luck. It isn't a matter of genetics. It comes down to a fundamental choice: whether you are going to be the author of your life, or merely a character reacting to the script that someone else wrote for you. Every single day, you wake up with a finite amount of energy, a finite amount of time, and a choice. You can either use that day to build your dreams, or you can let that day consume you, leaving you exactly where you were yesterday. The biggest illusion we face in modern life is the idea that inspiration must precede action. We sit around waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect alignment of circumstances before we begin. But the truth is that action precedes motivation. You do not wait until you feel like running to start running. You start running, and the momentum follows. Think about the law of inertia. An object at rest stays at rest. If you allow yourself to remain stagnant, waiting for a magical spark, you will stay frozen forever. But the moment you take that first, uncomfortable, agonizing step, you initiate a chain reaction. You change your state from passive to active. True discipline is identity-based. It is not about forcing yourself to do something you hate. It is about changing who you believe you are. When you shift your identity from someone who is trying to get fit to someone who is an athlete, your daily choices change. When you shift your identity from someone who wants to write a book to someone who is a writer, the blank page ceases to be a threat and becomes a canvas. You must look at your daily habits as votes for the person you want to become. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you are casting a vote for a strong, disciplined identity. Every time you give in to the temptation to slide backward, you are validating the old version of yourself that you claim you want to leave behind. Consider the neural architecture of your mind. When you experience an urge to quit, a wave of frustration, or a sudden burst of anxiety, that emotional storm actually only lasts about 90 seconds in the body. If you can breathe through those 90 seconds without reacting, without closing the laptop, without walking away, the physical chemical rush subsides. Most people quit not because they can't handle the work, but because they cannot handle the 90-second discomfort of their own emotional resistance. If you can train yourself to sit with that friction, you unlock a level of focus that most people will never know. You train your brain to understand that discomfort is not a signal to stop. It is merely a sign that growth is occurring. Look at the moments of friction in your life not as obstacles, but as raw material. The very thing that makes the task difficult is the thing that builds the psychological muscle. If it were easy, it would hold no value. The value is forged in the resistance. Think of a deep, cinematic landscape, a solitary path winding up a steep mountain, shrouded in mist. The climber on that path doesn't look at the summit every second. Doing so would bring despair at how far there is left to go. Instead, they focus entirely on the next 6 inches in front of them. They master the immediate step. We live in a world designed to fragment our attention. Every notification, every digital distraction, every superficial piece of information is actively competing for your cognitive processing power. When you allow your focus to be scattered, you are giving away your sovereignty. You are letting external forces dictate your emotional state and your productivity. To reclaim your life, you must build a fortress around your attention. Deep work requires an environment of silence and intentionality. It requires you to say no to 1,000 good things so that you can say yes to the one great thing that actually matters. Think about the long-form narrative of your life. When you look back 5, 10, 20 years from now, what story do you want to tell? Do you want to tell a story of potential that was never realized? Do you want to recount all the excuses that felt so valid at the time, but mean absolutely nothing now? Or do you want to look back at a legacy of resilience? The choice is made in the quiet, mundane moments of today. It is made when the alarm goes off and the room is cold. It is made when the screen is blank and the mind is tired. It is made when no one is watching, no one is applauding, and no one is validating your effort. That is where champions are made, in the dark, in the silence, in the invisible hours of relentless execution. Let go of the need for immediate validation. The culture we live in demands instant results, but anything of true permanence takes time to cultivate. Think of the root system of a massive tree. It grows deep into the earth for years before the trunk ever breaks the surface. To the outside observer, nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, a foundation is being built that can withstand the fiercest storms. Build your foundation in silence. Let your results do the talking. When you commit to a vision that is greater than your current comfort, the universe aligns to meet you. The friction disappears, the fog clears, and you realize that the strength you were searching for outside of yourself was already within you, waiting to be commanded. Stand up, step forward, and claim your focus.